Welcome to chapter 11, the channel where Sam only makes videos the day before and then panically edits them because she is bad at planning her time. Today I was just going to do a quick video because once again I've not planned anything properly, and I wanted to talk about the importance of dialogue in novels. Dialogue is very difficult, and it's also the most important thing in a novel for me. When I'm reading things and the dialogue isn't believable, then I kind of get a little bit irked inside, because I just think, how have you not been able to develop a realistic dialogue for these characters and still got published? It's just hurts me to my very core. What makes good dialogue is probably the question that you're not asking, but I'm telling you that you're asking. To me, good dialogue is just believable. It's not writing in the way that you might see teenagers from Dawson's Creek talking, which is completely unrealistic dialogue, and the only thing that made that programme great was just how ridiculously, insanely troubled those kids were. But yeah, I guess you can say that sometimes dialogue isn't the most important thing, because if you've got great characters and great setting and great themes, then you might be able to get away with crappy dialogue. But to me, that doesn't really work so well in novels as it does in TV shows. Because in TV shows, you've got people to look at. And people like to look. I think that the most important role for dialogue, and I think this is probably something that is universally thought as well, is to be able to speak the dialogue aloud and to feel like it's natural. What's natural to you may not be natural to other people, but it is important that at least somebody will be able to read that. So if you've written dialogue for an old guy or for a young kid and you think that's how they would sound, I mean, that's completely up to you, because you are the artist, so you have complete artist control. But can you actually imagine somebody saying those things out loud? You have to be able to read them, and you have to think that that is real. It sounds like a really simple thing to say, however, a lot of people don't seem to get it, and it baffles me. Another thing that's important to consider when you're writing dialogue is whether you're going to include dialogue which has an accent. By which I mean, if you were to write a Scottish character, would you write phonetically or will you not? This is probably more noticeably seen in, well, more recently, Hagrid's character in Harry Potter, because he is kind of a phonetically written character, so the things that he says, you can imagine him saying out loud because of the way that the language is cut short and, you know, it's written as you would hear him say it. And that's a really great device to use when writing, but it doesn't always work depending on who your target audience is. So with Harry Potter, I think it worked because the target audience was predominantly, I think, kids in the UK who would have heard his accent anyway, because there are, you know, you do come across people who speak like that. Whereas in America, I don't know whether that was, I don't even know if it was in the American editions, I imagine it was, but I don't know whether that made it easy for you to read or not, and I'd really like to know, if you are in America or Canada, Erin, did you find Hagrid's dialogue difficult to take in because you weren't familiar with the way that he spoke? But in general, because I particularly focus on dialogue when I am writing, and I'm very aware of it, and it was something that I really put a lot of work into when I was doing my uni degree, that I just wondered what you felt about it. I mean, does it bother you or doesn't it? What do you think makes good dialogue in books, novels, whatever you want to call them? Let me know in the comments, and yeah. Thanks very much for watching. I really hope I can piece this all together, because I had a fight with Juno in between this, and that's why she's crying behind me, because she's a very stubborn puppy, and stubbornness does not ride with me, because effectively I'm more stubborn. So I'll see you guys later. Have a lovely week. If you're nanoing, let me know. If you've got any suggestions for what you want me and Erin to cover in these videos, to do with writing or anything, any questions, put them in the comments, because we would love to answer those sorts of things. And it's just always nice to have contributions. I'll see you guys next week. No, I won't. Erin will see you next week. Erin and I will see you next week, and you will all see me in 2 weeks. Not endorsed, but if you like fruity brown sauces, why not try Branson's rich and fruity sauce? Seriously, it's so good. I just have this on toast because I'm a maniac. I also dip my toast in my tea. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Only 29, never figured it out.